The winner of this year's Nonfiction Prize is Wilbert Rideau for his astounding book, In the Place of Justice. As a very young man, Mr. Rideau committed a crime for which he was sent to the Louisiana State Penitentiary at Angola. Though he might have expected to be released within 10 years, standard for others guilty of similar crimes, he ended up spending 44 years at what was widely considered the toughest prison in America. Though his release was thwarted repeatedly and unfairly on largely racial grounds, he decided to use his time at Angola to become one of the most dedicated, gifted, and acclaimed prison journalists in American history. He became editor of the Angolite, the inmate-run magazine, and under his guidance it won countless awards and shed light on human rights issues at Angola and in prisons nationwide. He exposed sexual slavery, the drug trade, the plight of forgotten men serving life sentences, deficiency in healthcare, among innumerable other exposés. Though Rideau reported on the plight of others, he became well known in his own right. When national media outlets from Ted Koppel to NPR needed an expert on the inside, they went to Wilbert Rideau. Again and again, his reporting improved conditions for prisoners, and he successfully lobbied repeatedly for the release of fellow inmates. And yet, time after time, his own parole was denied. It was almost as if, because he had become so well known, his relief, I'm sorry, this is this articulate problem. I was even better than, I'm usually not this bad. His release became more political, more controversial. He was given little hope of ever leaving Angola. But then he met Linda LeBranche, an English professor at Northwestern. She led a team on the outside who fought for almost 20 years to secure his release. Along the way, together they battled weak-willed politicians, crooked prosecutors, and of course, the ever-powerful prison industrial complex. Finally, they won his release in 2005. Rideau and LeBranche are now married. In the Place of Justice is the product of a lifetime of pain and frustration, hope and triumph, and lessons always learned the hard way. And as such, it takes its place among the most important books ever written about the experience of being incarcerated in this country. Rideau's tenure at Angola followed the trajectory of American attitudes about race, crime and punishment, the death penalty, and his meticulously reported book underlines the desperate need for reform in our judicial and prison systems. As a story of one man's fight for freedom in a system rigged against him, it's shocking and suspenseful. As a story about the power of the written word and one man's journey to self-enlightenment, it's uncompromising, unfailingly honest, and thoroughly inspiring. As a story of love and dedication and a fight for freedom against all odds, it's nothing short of life-affirming. Because it is all of these things and its author is all of these things, I'm very proud to hand this award to Wilbert Rideau for In the Place of Justice. Wilbert.
Thank you. My wife, I wish she was here. However, it's really a pleasure to be here this evening. Of course, having spent 44 years in prison, it's a pleasure to be anywhere else. But I'm especially pleased to be here among people who are dedicated to promoting peace through literature. I know firsthand the power of literature to transform lives, because it transformed mine. During my 12 years on death row, reading enabled me to emerge from my self-centeredness and the frustration and unhappiness that it bred. I was able to see that I wasn't unique, that all people struggle with hardship and worry of some kind. In the stories of men who overcame great odds or obstacles, I found hope and purpose that maybe I too could salvage something meaningful from the wreckage of my life. From Mahatma Gandhi's life story in particular, I learned the power of nonviolence, even in violent circumstances. So I know how powerful literature is, how it can teach and inspire readers to be better than they are, to be more generous and compassionate, how it can tame fierce and unruly emotions. Given my early history, I'm an improbable recipient for a Peace Prize. No one is more keenly aware of that than I am. It's difficult for me to express how grateful I am that the judges found my life story worthy of this honor, found it to be a force for peace in the world. It allows me to believe that I can leave a legacy through my work besides the rash and violent act of my youth. The Dayton Literary Peace Prize marks a major milestone in my life. Like the stories of men who became my heroes and role models on death row, this award will forever stand as what I aspire to in my future work. Not just excellence in the craft of writing, but goodness in what it attempts to instill in others. I am mindful that I'm on the downward slope of time and must decide every day when I wake up how I will spend the days that remain to me. In agitation and frustration over what someone else has that I will never have, in disappointment or anger over the years that are lost to me forever, or grateful that I've been given the great gift of waking up to the sun streaming down on the face of the woman I've loved for a quarter century, or to a rainbow on a rainy day. I hope that if I have learned anything in life, it is that the cup is always half full, if you choose to see it that way. And I hope that in my work, I can help people choose to see it that way. To the awards committee and the judges, thank you so much for the great honor you have bestowed upon me this evening. I will try to be worthy of it. Thank you.